communication rights in the digital age are a bit different from what we have been using as a term before. So in the digital age, I think that the communication rights have shifted to some extent away from the citizens, from the individual, towards large corporations. So we could talk about the corporations' communication rights. They exercise these rights much more powerfully than before. And what we exercise today, or what we experience today, rather, is that digital communication rights have an imbalance in the power structure. So large communication institutions like companies have much more rights than individuals have. So what we all do on digital platforms, all the data we produce there, they go to the corporations which own them, and we as the producer of this data do not have any rights anymore. So there is a strong imbalance which has developed over the last couple of years, and I think as scholars we need to look into this very carefully.
Well, of course, communication rights can be claimed by everyone, by companies, by platforms such as Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple. It can be claimed by citizens, by states, but for me, communication rights are most closely related to the rights of citizens and possibly also the groups that citizens form. Think of certain minorities in society, for example.
Everybody can claim and should claim the right to speech and to communication in the digital age. And I think that everybody is, except of course that a large number of citizens are quite satisfied with a very sort of passive way of perhaps commenting something on Facebook but not deliberating further. And so it seems that the corporations right now are in the strongest position. On one hand, the government is very often not involved or trying not to be involved in regulating the digital age or the digital environment. And so it seems that the mega corporations like Facebook, like Google and others are the best suited, so to speak, to defend their rights. They have huge lobbying groups, they have, of course, large legal department, and they are the loudest and most active in protecting their rights. I believe that very often at the price of ordinary citizens who are probably not even aware of what is going on.
Well, we could talk about the ideal, which again should be everyone. Everyone's rights should be protected. But in reality right now, I'd say that corporations' rights are disproportionately protected and privileged within the digital landscape. And this is a problem. This requires reform and agitation. This is something that we all need to be fighting against right now. But I do think there are signs of hope that many people are engaging with these issues and that we will gradually, I hope, see a broadening of communication rights in the digital age.
I think that because communication rights, they are, first of all, they are individual rights. So, and they belong to the area of human rights. So you cannot, corporations cannot have rights to communication. So they are not property rights. They are individual rights. And when I say that it cannot be property rights, it means that they shouldn't be monetized. So they are with the individuals. And then again, as I mentioned, as I think, they do have a relationship to the group, to the societal group or community where individuals are living. So the community should protect and guarantee the individual's right to communicate and communication rights always. And the state again, the state is there for citizens. So it is a kind of a citizen right in relation to the state. The state has a responsibility to protect and guarantee the communication right of its citizens, meaning individuals.
Yeah, I think that you'd almost have to flip that question around and ask who doesn't have a right to communicate in the digital age. And I don't know that I can come up with a hard and fast answer that there's a stakeholder who doesn't have a right in that regard. But I think it's it's a balancing act. It's a cost-benefit analysis here again. I've used that in previous conversations about what distribution of communication rights maximizes societal value. And I think it's a political question. It could also be an empirical question. It's an interesting question. So I don't really have the answer to it. I just know how I would go about trying to answer it.
To claim rights, you have to be an individual human being. The term citizen is too limiting because we are experiencing a crisis of citizenship in the Western world today. And so the claim to the right should be for every individual for the sake of just being a human being. And then when we are thinking about how to operationalize and materialize it, we should look at individuals that may not be able to communicate without assistance, individuals with disabilities, individuals who do not have a political voice, individuals who do not have a political home or a base, and so forth.